Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone watching this. My name is Mehr, I study in grade 8, and this is my video presentation for the Life Robotics Olympiad. Did you know that 200,000 people die, suffer injuries, and spend countless time in the ER just because they've been subjected to something that they were allergic to? That's right, 200,000 people, only in the US. Imagine the rest of the world. How many people are suffering just because they've been subjected to something they were allergic to? To combat this, I have created Just Eat. Just Eat is a personalized recipe developer specializing in allergy-friendly foods. In this app, you are able to choose the substances that you are allergic to, and you will be given a recipe, whether sweet or savory, of foods that you will not be allergic to. These foods will be tasty, delicious, and amazing. Now, let's look at the layout of this app. This app has 4 main screens. Let's start with screen 1. Screen 1 is pretty basic. It starts with the heading, recipe developer, and underneath that, as we specialize in, allergy friendly. Underneath that is something I'm pretty proud of. It's the logo. Underneath that is a start button. The start button takes you to the next screen in which you will be able to choose the substances that you are allergic to. Under the start button, you will see a question mark button, which is a what is this app button. Under the what is this app button, you will find a label which tells you what this app is about. The label is shown when we click the question mark button and is mostly hidden when the screen initializes. Let's look at the code for the screen. It's pretty basic. When the question mark button is shown, as I said, the label will be visible, and when screen 1 initializes, the label will not be visible. And when the start screen is clicked, the screen 2 will be shown. Now let's move on to screen 2. Screen 2 is really fun because you are able to choose the allergies that you have and are patiently waiting for the recipe that you need to make. So, I have started off with 4 main allergies. These allergies are the most popular and the most widespread allergies among our youth today. They are the gluten, peanut, lactose, and egg allergies. So from this click box menu, you can choose any number of substances that you're allergic to. If you want to choose all of them, you may. If you want to choose one of them, you're free to do that. Underneath the choosing of your allergies, you will see a type of food. The type of food will give you a list on whether you want sweet or savory, and from that, as you choose, you will see underneath that a find recipe button. When you click the find recipe button, it takes you to another screen where your recipe will be shown at. Now let's look at the coding part of this screen. This screen, basically, it works on the possibilities that are available. For example, let's take this one as an example. If the eggs are checked, then the code will see whether sweet or savory is checked, and then it will send a start value. This start value will be important in order to display the recipe. Now let's see another example. If we take eggs, gluten, and peanuts. If we take eggs, gluten, and peanuts, if they are checked, then the code will check for whether these checked ones have either sweet or savory, and then it will send a start value. Another part of a code is for the list, whether sweet or savory. A list is created in screen 2 and the elements are sweet and savory. That's all for screen 2. Kinda easy, right? Let's move on to screen 3. Screen 3 is called as the recipe screen. It is where the recipe will be developed and displayed. So, the recipe starts with a your recipe heading and then a label. This label is where your recipe will be laid down, will be listed down, so that you can make it and make an amazing breakfast, dinner, lunch, or dessert. Underneath the recipe label, you will find an image. This image will correspond to the recipe. For example, if you are making a recipe of butter chicken, if the recipe shows the recipe for butter chicken, then the image will be that of that recipe, of the butter chicken. The recipe is here for reference, so that you know what you have made is supposed to look like the recipe. Underneath the image, you will find 2 very crucial buttons. That is the new recipe button and the what to do in case of a reaction button. The new recipe button, basically, it takes you to the screen 2, in which you can choose other allergies that you may be allergic to, and you can choose sweet or savory. The other one is what to do in case of a reaction, which we'll be looking at after we look at the blocks of this screen 3. So the screen 3 blocks was probably the most tedious amount of code work I have ever done. Screen 3's code also depends upon the possibilities. For example, EGLPS. EGLPS is eggs, gluten, lactose and peanuts, means if all 4 are clicked and it is sweet, then this recipe will be shown for the coconut flour chocolate donuts, and the image of the coconut flour chocolate donuts will be shown as well. For let's take another example, shall we? Okay, let's take this example of vegan Shrikant. If you are allergic to lactose, then if you have chosen lactose, code will look at whether you have chosen sweet or savory, and then it will send a message to this part of the code and show that you have chosen lactose, which is sweet. So you want a food that is lactose free yet sweet. So for this, the recipe that I have given is vegan Shrikant, and once I have done that, underneath I have shown a picture. I have uploaded a picture of vegan Shrikant to show you that this is how it's supposed to look. This goes on for basically the entire code. Another part of the code is this. When new recipe is clicked, open another screen, which is screen 2, so that you can choose other allergies that you may have, or sweet or savory, and get your another recipe. Another one is when button 1 screen. Now what's button 1? Button 1 is the what to do in case of an allergic reaction occurs, and it takes us to another screen called precautions. Precautions is the last and final screen, and this screen shows us what to do in case you see someone having an allergic reaction. It tells you what to do with the EpiPen, what times to do CPR at. So it shows you what to look for when you think someone's having an allergic reaction. For example, the person may be breaking out in hives, the person may be having red rashes all over. That's when you know that they had an allergic reaction. So underneath that you will find the back button. Now what does the back button do? The back button basically takes you back to your recipe so that you can make your recipe and eat bindas. So this is my app, the Recipe Developer. The Recipe Developer Just Eat will help bring confidence into so many people that they can eat whatever they want without having to worry about a thing, without having to worry about going to the hospital and using up so much money. It will allow the people to eat whatever they want, the things that they desire, the things that they love, without being scared of having an allergic reaction. I hope you like the app. Thank you so much. Bye.